Hey guys, what's up? This is Ben from the New World Order, and I'm coming at you now on my Atlantean deck profile. It's an interesting deck. It's basically the only thing that sort of kept my attention and made me interested in the game recently. And there are some new things coming out in the Dark Illusion that I'm hoping to do deck profiles for. I was going to do one on my train deck list, but since the new support's coming out, then I thought I might as well wait until it comes out. So I'll just get into this. It basically focuses on this guy, purely because he's really easy to get out. So first of all, we run 2 copies of Poseidon, the Atlantean Dragon. His effect you can virtually disregard because there's just not a massive... it's so conditional. As an actual card, this thing is terrible for like a structure deck monster. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust the lighting there. That's perfect. This guy's terrible as a structure deck monster, but he doesn't have an effect. He does have an effect that you can occasionally get off. Just read up on that in your own time. It's not really necessary to sort of know, but it's okay if you can get it off. But yeah, anyway. Then we've got 2 copies of Dragoons. This is at 2, so you physically have to run it at 2 because it's just such a utterly nuts card. It's really good in the deck as well. Then we've got 3 Marksmen. This is the second most important Atlantean, potentially. It's of course got the effect to pop a set card, which is really useful. And then of course you can search out the rest of the deck with it, which is also really useful. We've then got 3 copies of Heavy Infantry to pop a face-up card on the field. And it also lets you have your second normal summon, and we'll get into some plays with that later on, which, you know, it's very helpful for. And our last Atlantean cards are 2 Trident. Now, you can happily run this at 3, or you can keep it at 2, but you definitely need it, because it's just such a good card for getting Poseidon out, and we'll get into that a bit later on. We've also got 3 Atlantean Attack Squad, but if you can get Neptas, this would be 3 Neptas, because obviously it's just so much better. You don't need this card at all. There's lots of things you can take out of this deck for Neptas, to be honest, because a lot of it's a really short amount of cards that you actually need, and the rest is just sort of filler, to be quite honest. These are filler. They do have the uses, but as I say, Neptas is better. But fortunately, in the time I've been playing it, I haven't came across them yet. Hoping to get them this weekend, but plan to scrap the deck for now anyway, with the Dark Illusion sneak peek. And Deep Sea Diva, this is the most important card in the deck. Basically, you normal summon this and then search into Trident. Or if you already have the Trident in hand, you can search into Heavy Infantry and then Heavy Infantry the Trident out, and then use these 2. You still got monster on board. It really depends on the situation, but that's the both really good plays. And basically, Trident's effect, you tribute it and another Sea Serpent, and you get Poseidon out. So it's just really quick. With Diva, you just drop Diva turn 1, you got Poseidon turn 1, it's fine. Next is Screech, which is just useful for ditching cards and getting the effects of Marksman and Marksman, Dragoons, and Heavy Infantry. And finally, here's where the deck takes a twist. You can definitely take these out for Neptas instead if you want, but 2 Legendary Fishermen and 1 Legendary Fisherman 3. I just wanted to play it. I thought it'd be fun. And it's surprisingly consistent, to be honest, with what you'd expect. Interesting story about the second Legendary Fisherman. I actually decided to make this deck and then decided to leave these out because I needed the second one of these and I couldn't be bothered to find them. And then my dad happened to give me a pile of cards that someone he worked with gave him, and there just happened to be a second fisherman in there. So that's an interesting story. 2 Call of the Atlanteans. The only reason this is a terrible card is because it doesn't actually work with Poseidon, or at least it doesn't work on the same turn. It's not bad. It's great to drop in your opponent's end phase, but other than that, it's just, you know, it's not a card that's worth running at 3. 1 Moray of Greed, just... You think it's going to be less useful than it is, but it's a really good card. Salvage, as I say, there's very limited things in the deck that you actually need to use, so it's nice to get those back. 2 MST and a Twin Twister. I would like to run the double twisters, but I've only got the one, and the side deck's got a place missing as well. But they're obvious. Raigeki, again, obvious. The 2 instant fusion for your northern players, that can let you go into Hope Woven Spider Shark, all kinds of stuff, Bahamut Shark, anything you need really, because you know it's a water deck with a water fusion monster. And finally, 1 copy of Stormforth. Absolutely adore this card, best card ever made, as far as I am concerned, really. Really hope Monarchs don't get it hit by the ban list, because to be honest, that would just be absolutely beyond lame. But yeah, you just run the 1 copy for getting Legendary Fisherman out a bit easier. We've got 2 Fiendish Chain, for obvious reasons, 2 Dimensional Prism for obvious reasons, a Bottomless and a Torrential for obvious reasons, and then 2 Torrential Reborn because this card is actually nuts. And you can combo it with Tribute, I believe. And yeah, it's just nuts card. Okay, so that's the deck as it stands. As I say, it needs like 3 Neptas in it, but it runs fine without. And in the extra deck, run 1 Flare Metal, because this is the only good rank 7 I have. You can run the 3rd Poseidra, by the way, if you really want to, but run Sacred Sword of 7 stars as well. Then we've got Honor Arc and Black Ship of Corn for like obvious reasons. Then Bahamut Shark because it's nails. Hope Woven Spider Shark just because it's sort of, it has its opportunities where it's really good, and then its effect to special summon another monster from your graveyard, no specific background. You know, it's just a nuts effect really. We've got Castell, for obvious reasons as well. We've got 2 Nightmare Shark. This is really good in the deck, especially if someone's trying to stall you out, because you know, it's in this deck it's like a 3 material job, because you're definitely going to have the 3rd water monster lying about for it to attach itself to. Zen Mains for obvious reasons, Chrononaut for I suppose obvious reasons, Alucard for obvious reasons, and then Muzzerism because I just need another card in the extra deck, so I just whacked them in there. And then we've got 2 Synchro Monsters, which are Goyo and Armades. These can be anything else, it really doesn't matter. You never go into them because you never use Diva for Synchros really. You use her for Trident players. These are literally here if you've already gone through them all by the time you get into Diva. And finally is 1 copy of Norden. The only downside to this card is the fact that now it is at 1. You are definitely drawing the 2nd instant fusion once you've used the first one. There's no 2 ways about that just happens. And then quickly sliding through the side deck, which literally doesn't matter, but you know, just as a guide to what I used. There's 2 Light Imprisoning, 2 Shadow Imprisoning, 3 Grand Horn of Heaven, 2 Imperial Iron Wall, 2 Shared Ride, 1 Levier just in case your opponent banishes a lot of stuff, and then the space for the other Twin Twisters. So that's the deck basically, and please let me know and subscribe. Thank you for watching.